The extraterrestrial invasion of Earth occurs in 2019 Chicago, just like in other cities throughout the world, and martial law is imposed. The U.S. government makes no effort to maintain the country's freedom and quickly starts working with the alien legislators. While navigating the traffic, the Drummond family tries to flee the city but is halted by the police. They are told they are traveling north by John Drummond, who is posing as a detective. When the officer inquires as to whether he received a command, John abruptly turns around and rushes off in the opposite direction. The policeman orders them to stop. However, when the detective refuses, the officer fires on the vehicle. John Drummond reassures his terrified wife and informs her that they must leave. John travels through the city streets, crashing over barricades and eventually entering a dark tunnel. He comes to a halt when he notices something weird ahead. John's wife begs him to turn around and go, but he pays no attention to her. The parents are suddenly attacked by an alien force, who vaporizes them. Gabriel and Rafe Drummond, their kids, are able to live. A scary alien thing suddenly appears alongside the lad's car as they gaze up, startled. Though it notices Gabriel and Rafe, the creature nonetheless permits their survival. The next information regarding the Earth's invasion comes from brief communications transmitted across the network of Pilsen Elementary School. First, the aliens turn off the nation's electricity, forcing the White House to agree to a ceasefire, after which the power is turned back on. Following the demobilization of the military, alien forces seize control of the world. Since that time, the intruders are known as legislators. After a while, the legislators encircle Chicago's downtown and relocate all of its inhabitants. Other cities begin to experience similar closed zones, and humanity is now hard at work creating strange underground bunkers. Aliens deplete the planet's natural resources. Social disparity deepens, and the police are given the authority to deport people to other worlds. Only police officers are permitted to communicate with legislators or enter the closed zone. Phoenix attacks a closed zone for the first time, but their mission is unsuccessful, and Rafe Drummond is killed. The Resistance's primary objective, according to the final message, is to attack the closed zone, which was issued at the start of 2027. It doesn't alter. In order to light a match and ignite the war, in a similar circumstance, what would you do? Would you stand up for your freedom or make peace with a foreign power? In 2027, 9 years after the first interaction with the legislators, Commander William Mulligan of the Chicago Police Special Branch listens to recordings from covert cameras in Gabriel Drummond's home. Gabriel joins up with his friend Georges to talk about the forthcoming Phoenix attack during the Unite rally after saying farewell to his girlfriend. As William Mulligan scans a brand new newspaper, he instantly takes note of a strange Phoenix Fire Safety Service advertisement bearing the rebel group's recognizable logo. When Mulligan reaches the Pilsen neighborhood, he takes pictures of the identical Phoenix logo that is visible on one of the structures. He then visits a brothel to speak with the proprietor. When William Mulligan gets back to the police station, he lets his partner know that the Phoenix resistance group wasn't destroyed and that the rebels are now communicating with each other via advertisements. Patrick and Charles, two members of the resistance, are meeting secretly and formulating a strategy to breach the closed zone by using the Unite rally's venue, Soldier Field, as a gateway. Later, Patrick visits an abandoned bus close to the closed zone and provides the vital information to a figure wearing a mask. Gabriel shows up for work at the Data Reclaim Center, where he scans many people's cell phones for illegal data before erasing SIM cards. Gabriel catches his colleague stealthily removing SIM cards and concealing them beneath a safety mask. A female hands Gabriel a tiny letter with sensitive information during lunch. Gabriel is able to stealthily take the note out of the building as she wraps up a cigarette from it. How would you communicate a secret to your allies? Comment with your thoughts. The impending Unite rally, which is set to take place today and is anticipated to include legislators, is discussed in the news. When Gabriel and others go home from work, the cameras in the sky start to react to a bug on the woman who stole the SIM card's neck. Immediately after arriving, special branch agents load the woman into a car and depart in front of the terrified throng. Gabriel later comes at the beach and watches as interplanetary transport transports the poor woman off-world. Gabriel then meets with Georges, who shows him a gun that he intends to use in the operation. Gabriel exhorts him to approach their work more seriously because in the future world, firearms are completely prohibited. Friends are arguing when they suddenly hear a car outside the window. While Gabriel runs into William Mulligan and grudgingly gets in his car, Georges hides the revolver and runs away. Mulligan offers Gabriel food and inquires about Phoenix. Gabriel claims to know nothing and to be unrelated to the group. Mulligan, on the other hand, does not believe him. Mulligan acknowledges that he formerly worked with Gabriel's father and that he now feels responsible for him. He yells at Gabriel to make the right decision and ejects him from the automobile. Gabriel goes to meet a member of Phoenix in the evening to offer him a cigarette that has a secret code. But the man blindly drags Gabriel into a van and straps a metal collar around him to block the signal from his bug. He is taken to Wicker Park, where they previously carried out an operation by the man. Gabriel, though, is still perplexed as to why he is there. He removes the collar after going into an apartment in one of the deserted structures. Rafe, who somehow survived, arrives behind him all of a sudden. Gabriel's eyes are so startling that the brothers securely embrace. Rafe informs him that among the resistances, he is the lone survivor. He also admits that they removed his bug and that there are other such persons off the grid, and he shows Gabriel a scar on his neck. Rafe argues that it was too risky to maintain contact during this time, and Gabriel is unhappy with him for it. Rafe lights up the cigarette marked with the code and informs his brother that it is imperative to assault the legislators as soon as possible. He also provides Gabriel money so that he can travel somewhere safe. Rafe is determined to succeed and show the world that the legislators can be defeated, despite Gabriel's pleas to him not to take part in the operation because he doesn't want to risk losing his brother. Outside, there are unsettling noises. Right away, Rafe tells his brother to leave and makes a commitment to find him later. Rafe rushes upstairs as Gabriel departs in disappointment. He uses the code to cut the cigarette, releases a carrier pigeon from the window after attaching a note to it. Rafe then grabs several pieces of proof, sets them on fire, and quickly exits the building. Mulligan, who is in a van with his co-workers, uses his bug to follow Gabriel and listen in on his discussion with his girlfriend. Gabriel's arrival at home. He informs her that his brother is alive and displays a large sum of cash, beaming with joy. She begs him to stay even as he implores her to flee the scene of the attack. Gabriel departs, and Mulligan gives the order to send all the captured data to higher authorities. He leaves the residence. Mulligan spots Gabriel and sees him running. Mulligan gets in a car and starts to chase Gabriel. Gabriel makes his way into the closed zone and hides in a decrepit structure. The foreign drones have located Gabriel and are encircling him. When he dons the collar, the signal from his bug vanishes, making Mulligan unable to see him. William Mulligan goes back to work and makes changes to the Phoenix case after failing to catch him. Patrick picks up a message from Rafe that has a pigeon on it and goes to meet with hackers. The resistances are able to access the Chicago Police Special Branch's surveillance system thanks to the secret code. They also succeed in locating the deputy mayor. The resistances inform Charles, who quickly publishes a new version of the newspaper bearing the Phoenix emblem. A newspaper is brought by a member of the resistance to a radio station, where a certain song is played to alert other resistances. Anita and other Phoenix members gather at a designated area to eliminate bugs that may reveal them. Patrick encounters a mortuary worker who delivers him bugs from other people. These will aid Phoenix members in obfuscation. Eddie the priest meets Rafe, and the two of them travel to yet another ally. The woman receives valuable gifts from a clergyman, and in response, she hands them enigmatic alien technology that can conceal anything from scanners. The resistance arrives at a nightclub, where Patrick uses alien technology to render explosives undetectable. He then hands Rafe the invisibility gadget, and a club worker assists them by providing them with car keys. Patrick gives the resistance group new bugs at night and informs them that as of tomorrow, they will all be declared dead and that contact with friends and family is no longer permitted. In case of failure, everyone involved in the plan prepares cyanide pills and goes to Unite rally. William Mulligan follows the coverage of the occasion. In a solemn address to the legislators, the mayor of the city asks everyone watching to thank the aliens for the years of stability and prosperity. The altered bugs enable the resistance's easy access once they get at Soldier Field Stadium. To welcome the legislators, a delegation is led by the deputy mayor. Rushes after them, accidentally colliding with the constable and attaching an invisible explosive to him. Everyone in the audience sings the battle hymn of the Republic. Over the stadium, an alien spacecraft is already discernible. It soon releases scary aliens. The deputy mayor comes up to them, and there is a huge explosion. Gabriel finally gets out of the alien drone's trap after waking up, and Mulligan pulls a BlackBerry phone out of the box Jane Doe gave him. As people flee the stadium in fear, the aliens again turn out the electricity in the entire city. Eddie the priest doesn't make it out of the gunfight. However, the surviving Phoenix members succeed in getting away. Rafe manages to escape the situation by a miracle but shortly comes into contact with a legislator. Allies save the day and kill the alien, removing the disguise to reveal their true identity. The resistances finally go and hastily obliterate every proof. When William Mulligan meets with Commissioner Igor, he finds out that the lawmakers have sent hunters from another planet to find and catch the resistance members. Igor doesn't want to pay attention to Mulligan's advice since he thinks it's safer to sweep the area without the assistance of the alien hunters. He wants to quickly accomplish the legislators' demands so that he might depart Earth and join them. Mulligan approaches Jane Doe and says he can no longer defend her. The aliens have already started their search as they dance together as a final farewell. Pilsen is subject to raids by the police special section. When Gabriel gets home, he sees the police beating Georges. In his wrath, he pulls a revolver on the cop and threatens him, but William Mulligan intervenes and takes them all into custody. Right now, Rafe's bogus bug is the main target of the police's attention. When Evan, a resistance member, phones his wife to apologize, she instantly gives the phone to masked people who are in their home conducting a search. Rafe, Daniel and Anita successfully board a bus bound for New York before being abruptly stopped by extraterrestrial hunters. Daniel downs a cyanide tablet after being faced with an impossible circumstance. Anita tries to run away, but the aliens kill her. Rafe exits the bus and prepares to take a tablet as well, but Mulligan shoots him and detains him. Mulligan questions Gabriel later in the police station, asking him when he last saw Rafe. Gabriel, though, is uncooperative. Rafe is subsequently imprisoned by Mulligan in a cell and forced to give a statement. Rafe chastises his brother for remaining. Gabriel then walks away after reminding him angrily that he urged him not to be a hero. Gabriel Mulligan insists on bringing a message from Phoenix to the station, saying that doing so will enable them to find their ringleader. "I'll spare Rafe's life in exchange," she said. In agreement, Gabriel approaches Patrick. He asks to meet number 1, the head of the resistances, and displays a notice with the Phoenix logo. He also asserts that he understands how to infiltrate the closed zone. After discussing the matter with Charles, Patrick decides to inform their leader. Gabriel is brought to the brothel run by Jane Doe, who turns out to be number 1. Gabriel is recognized by the woman, who addresses him by name. The cops storm into the room and shoot Doe. They perform an extensive search. Doe had been spying on the entire brothel, recording discussions with special branch personnel and transferring classified material across the network. It was eventually found. After some time has passed, Mulligan informs the legislators that the opposition group's leaders have all been neutralized in a report. He also discloses that Priscilla Scott, who had taught history at Pilsen Elementary School, is the true Jane Doe. Most members of the special branch were Jane Doe's clients and unintentionally provided her with classified material. Commissioner Igor has also been compromised, and William Mulligan, as acting commissioner, must now enter the closed zone. Gabriel observes as Rafe and the other convicts board an interplanetary ship and leave Earth. Mulligan, whom he encounters later, informs him that Rafe is actually still alive. Gabriel, however, is not happy about this because he knows he will never see his brother again and his plan hasn't worked. Gabriel receives a SIM card from Jane Doe's phone from Mulligan, who also tells him that it's being watched and adds that perhaps failure was the idea. When he examines the card's contents, he discovers a video from his own baby shower, which his parents William Mulligan and Priscilla Scott's friends attended. Mulligan is given permission to meet the legislators underground at the same time. He finds an unseen extraterrestrial bomb suddenly linked to him. The strong explosive's invisibly thick substance envelops him as he descends. Right there in the closed zone, he is willing to give his life to eliminate the legislators. He has been a member of the resistance all this time, and the aliens' base was the intended target of the botched operation. The closed zone in Chicago was successfully eliminated. According to the end credits, together with widespread protests of mass resistance. By doing so, the Pilsen resistances proved successful in their attempt to light a match and ignite the war. Captive State was the title of the film. Personally, I support the hero's fight for liberation and autonomy from legislators. However, I don't believe that removing isolated cells would have contributed to their downfall. However, the movie offers optimism for a better human future, and one wants to think that it will actually happen. What do you believe will happen to the populace if the legislative branch is overthrown? What if the aliens persist and want retribution? Let's talk about these issues in the comments. Thank you for viewing.